I hope you guys have been having a wonderful summer. We have done so many fun things, and this week we are going to be spending it at our county fair. Our kids have some different exhibits in the fair, and the biggest thing is that they are going to be showing hogs and auctioning them off. It's going to be a very busy week here. I am filming this video on a Monday, and we have our hog weigh-in tonight to make sure that they made the correct weight to be able to be in the show and the auction. And then the hogs will be staying at the fair for the whole week, and so we'll have to be there to feed and water them multiple times a day. So it's going to be a very busy week, but a very fun week. We always did the fair when we were kids for a full week, and it was one of my favorite weeks of the whole summer. And so I love making these memories with the kids, and also just remembering this when I was a kid being here. It's so fun to kind of relive my childhood seeing this. But today we have several things going on. I'm getting some pizza crust going because we're going to be having that later on for lunch. And then to prepare for this week, I am getting some yogurt made, granola bars made, just to have some easy breakfast this week. I have a lot of work to do in the garden and some preserving to do. I'm going to make some pasta sauce because we have so many red tomatoes, laundry, cleaning, just all of the things. I'm excited to tell you guys about today's video sponsor, FlavCity. FlavCity is a complete protein powder that is made with all clean ingredients. Sometimes when things say they're made with clean ingredients, that means they still have natural flavors in there, and natural flavors are not natural at all. And so I was really excited when I actually saw the ingredients on the container and saw that they were all ones that I could pronounce, ones that I knew exactly what they were. And it really is made with clean ingredients, because sometimes we can think that it is and it's not. The best thing about FlavCity protein is that it is a complete smoothie, so you don't even have to use a blender. You don't have to add anything to it. You just can simply put a scoop of the powder, depending on what flavor you have, in some milk and use this shaker bottle here and shake it up. So it's a really great option if you're wanting something quick, easy, and healthy. In every scoop, you get 25 grams of protein, collagen, fruit, functional mushrooms, and nut butter. It is made with 100% grass-fed protein, and it can be used as a meal replacement. It's just 200 calories, 14 net carbs, and absolutely no added sugar, which is my favorite thing about this, is that it's completely healthy and that I can use it for a quick, easy meal. So if you've been looking for a healthy protein powder, maybe you work out, or you just want something for a healthier lifestyle, you're definitely going to check out FlavCity. They are all so delicious. My favorites are the peanut butter chocolate and the berries and cream. If you guys are ready to try it, you guys can tap my link down in the description box below, and you guys can use my code OILYHOUSE to get 15% off. As a homemaker, I spend most of my time at home, and when I'm home, it's a lot easier to get all the things done because I am here. It's easy to switch out a load of laundry in between making meals and taking care of the kids. It's easy to cook when I'm home, but when I'm going to be spending an entire week out of the home, it takes a lot of prep work to get ready for that. With this week being busy and also it being a very hot week, it can be very, very stressful. And I have found that whenever we have a busy week or just a busy day, it's really up to me and my mindset if it's going to be joyful or if it's going to be stressful. Over the years, I have found ways to make even the busiest and stressful weeks joyful and just more manageable. I have been so obsessed with this dirty matcha latte recipe lately. My sister-in-law has this on her blog, Daily Tea Time. And so if you guys like matcha, you should check this out. I absolutely love this drink and I've been making it every afternoon. In fact, I can link it for you guys down below. Some of my biggest tips, and I'm actually talking to myself here because I have to remind myself of this. And I remember on this particular day, I had so many things to get done, and we had to be done by a certain time because we had that weigh-in that evening. And then I knew the rest of the week we were going to be very busy with the fair. So I was reminding myself, even on these busier days, things can still go smooth and not be so chaotic. And the biggest thing for me, like I said, is my mindset, and to just not overthink it. When I start to think about all the things I have to get done, I start to get stressed. I get more angry and irritable. It's just really overwhelming. But if I just do one thing at a time and try not to think about the other things, it goes so much better. And I feel like even whenever I have these really busy days and so many things to get done, I typically still have the time to get it all done. And if something is left undone, it's okay. And so thinking about it and overstressing it can make things way worse just because in my head, but thinking about it overcomplicates it and makes me stress about it more. And honestly, if something gets left undone, it is okay. I find that once I just get started on the day, it is actually much easier than what I was, anticipating. I'm sure a lot of you moms can relate to this, but when you lay down to bed at night and you're sitting there thinking about all the things that you have to get done the next day, whether it's a busy week or just a typical week, there's lots of demands in this world we live in. And if you start thinking about them all, your head gets spinning and it really gets stressful just thinking about all the things that have to be done. But then the next day, once you get going and you start doing these things and the day goes on, it isn't quite as bad as it was when you were thinking about it the day before. At least that's totally how it is for me. I've talked to my sisters about this, and so I'm sure that a lot of people can relate with that. But overthinking it can make it worse rather than just jumping in and getting started. It's really important to make a to-do list that is manageable and really just trying to enjoy the little moments throughout the day. Even on a more stressful day, having some time to do something that you love, like making a beautiful flower arrangement and just enjoying little moments with your kids. Sometimes just doing something that brings you joy, even if it's only for 5 minutes throughout the day, you'll find that you have time for that, and it will bring you a little bit of happiness and a little time to wind down even on a more stressful day. Another thing that I have to remind myself all the time is that things don't have to be perfect. And one example right here, when I'm picking tomatoes from my very, very unperfect garden, it is full of weeds. Things are dying. It's not looking good. You can see that, but I'm still getting plenty of fresh vegetables from here. And this is just the stage of life that we are in. We aren't going to have this perfect manicured garden. My kids love helping me pick, and my toddler will oftentimes be like trampling through the garden, and I don't want to have to stress these things because I want him to be able to help, and I'm happy that he can be out here and, you know, enjoy some fresh air and be able to see where our food comes from and help to plant, pick, and prepare food. And with that, it's obviously not going to be perfect. And I think in my earlier years of being a mom, this kind of thing would have really stressed me out, seeing the amount of mess that they were making when they were helping me, and, you know, getting worried about the garden getting ruined because kids are trampling over plants and whatnot. But I've realized that all of this time really does go really fast, and before I know it, I won't have little toddlers running around messing up my garden, and maybe then it'll be more perfect, but probably not, because I don't always have the most green thumb. So it's kind of nice right now that I can kind of blame it on the kids, even though it's probably a lot of me and not them. I am rolling out some pizza crust, and my daughter is making a delicious homemade pizza sauce with all of our own homegrown peppers, tomatoes, and onions, which, you know, that's just so fun. And I love that she can experiment with that kind of stuff. And she is funny because she never wants to follow a recipe. Like, she doesn't, I always say, why don't you look up a recipe just to kind of like get some ideas. You don't have to follow it, you know, completely, but to loosely follow it. And I know it's not fun for her. So she always just goes on her own and adds things in. And, you know, she's actually getting pretty good, and some things turn out so delicious. And we're always pretty shocked by the different things that she can make at such a young age. Another big tip I have for dealing with stress, and again, I'm talking to myself here just as much as I'm sharing this. I'm hoping that it's making sense and giving you guys some motivation, because I know that on days like this, I need it. But being able to roll with the changes, because oftentimes things don't go as planned, especially whenever you have kids. As soon as, you know, you get a kid on a certain schedule and they're sleeping through the night, they get teeth or they get sick, or, you know, you have a vacation, and, you know, that can go with just all throughout life with kids. You know, you're getting ready to leave and someone has an accident or whatever it is, but you have to be able to roll with those changes and different interruptions. And again, I think it has a lot to do with the mindset. You see multiple times in this video me coming back to this Instapot here. I am working on a big batch of yogurt, like I said, for easy breakfast this week. We're gonna have some smoothies, and then also I am making some granola bars. This will be an easy snack that I will bring along to the fair. We will eat at the fair probably most of the week, which isn't great food, but I want to have at least a hearty breakfast in the morning and a few snacks to pack so that we have some good food this week. I have recipes for the yogurt and these granola bars, so I will link those for you guys down below. The next project I'm working on today is with these plants here in my living room. As you can see, 2 of them are not doing well at all, and 1 is totally thriving, and it is getting so incredibly big and long. It's like hitting people's heads when you're rocking in that rocking chair. So I'm going to replant the big one to kind of separate it, trim it down, and separate it into the other 2 pots since the other ones in those died. I love having houseplants, but with the toddler, I find that the only way that I can do it is having them hanging, or else he gets into them. He loves to play in the dirt. He's always getting into our herb box out on our sunroom, but for inside, I don't like to have the dirt all over every time that he wants to play in it. So I find that hanging them right now, again, is the only way that it works in my home. So I have a couple different places where we have some hanging plants, and I just love the way that they look. They add some beautiful decoration. Our little herb garden needed a little bit of care, and so I am getting rid of things that have died and replanting a few things. Over the weekend while we were out shopping, we found some herbs that were on sale, and so I bought a few new things that I am planting here because we still have plenty of warm months to enjoy fresh herbs before that season is over. I am making some tzatziki sauce, and it calls for shredded cucumber, and I was so glad because we have so many cucumbers. It's crazy. We only planted 2 cucumber seeds, and the amount of cucumbers that come off of 2 cucumber seeds is insane. So I am making some of this because we are having some cod fish sandwiches for dinner tonight, and I'm going to use this as the sauce, and I'm also going to be making some homemade slaw to go on top of these. I just love cooking in the summertime with all of the fresh herbs and vegetables. Everything is so beautiful and colorful, and I know that you can get all of these things throughout the year with grocery stores this day and age, but something about having it fresh from your own garden, and it just tastes better and more fresh. But something about having it in your own garden, or even just buying it at the grocery store when it's in season, it tastes so much better. My kids love fish, but it's one of those things I forget to cook because we get all of our meat from my sister and she doesn't have fish, and so I just kind of skip getting any of that type of stuff at the grocery store. And so when I remember, they're always very excited because they all love any type of seafood. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you guys some motivation and maybe inspired some of you. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I get out a new video every single week.